Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Virtual African Market. This is our first event, which is so exciting, but it's an opportunity for you as an African or having African connections or having an African product or just love the continent to showcase what you have with leading up to Christmas. Because, of course, the shops are closed. Markets probably won't be running. So I thought this would be a perfect way to share what everybody's doing. My name is Dawn Denton, and I have with me this evening Lena Thompson, and she's going to be talking about her brilliant business, which is called Nature's Frequencies. Now that title in itself is intriguing. Tell me what Nature's Frequency is all about, Lena.
Hi, Dawn. Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me. It's just great to talk to you again. And yeah, so Nature's Frequencies, they have been around for the past 8 years, the American-based company. And for the last 8 years, they've been manufacturing energy wearable technology, which is programmed with frequencies of nature. So when you put this technology on your body or within your energy field, it affects your biofields and it changes your frequencies in your vibration. And over the last 8 years, we worked exclusively with medical practitioners who have helped their clients to overcome some serious health challenges. So it's just such a new, exciting technology, and it's one of the top leading in the market right now.
So that is so interesting because we're very aware of the world around us at the moment. And of course, we live in a world with so much technology that's impacting us. What effect does all this technology have on our health? How can that impact us?
So, I mean, this has basically been my topic of research for the last 7 or 8 months since lockdown happened, because I've seen so many of my clients and friends and family been really kind of affected by something we didn't know back then what it was. There was tiredness, insomnia, migraines, headaches, stress, all of this. And that's when I really started kind of looking into the field of electromagnetic radiation and understanding how EMF, stands for electromagnetic fields, which are emitted by all of the gadgets that we are surrounding by, and the way it actually affects our health. And there's a lot of scientists and doctors already talking about it. So like Dr. Mercola, Dr. Martin Paul. And what happens actually with electromagnetic radiation is that it classified it into two types. There's a thermal radiation, which changes the temperature. When you put the device either to your head or you hold it, there's an exchange of energy, and that causes a change in our temperature. And that's okay. It's very slight change. It's not kind of damaging to our health. But what not many talking about is that non-thermal radiation. And that's the type of radiation that actually gets inside our cells and it damages our tissues, our cells, our DNAs, and it weakens our immune system and gut health. So, I mean, the side effects are huge. I've got clients in America when the 5G transmitters went up. And I mean, we're talking about brain tumors, brain cancers, people packing up and moving their houses. And it's inevitable here. It's also coming to UK.
So because we've only really, if you think about it, mobile phones have only really been a part of our life for about 20 years. So we don't have the long-term research, but now it's starting to fall into place. And I think creating products that can help us is really exciting. So what kinds of products do you have that can make a difference to our health and to us feeling better about ourselves?
Sure. So, I mean, we've got, there's so many different kind of products we have, but talking about the EMF specifically, because I do think it's the cause of a lot of problems that we have. If you're talking about migraines or sleep, my first question would be, what is in your environment? How are you protected? So one of the products we have is called EMF Shield, and it's just a sticker that goes in the back of your phone, laptop, routers. I mean, some of the doctors you work with, they even put it on the hair dryers and hoovers. I know a lot of dentists, they have it in their practice. They put it on the x-ray, CT scans, printers, baby monitors, all of these kind of gadgets. And what they do, they don't block the signal. That's where people kind of, mistake this for blockers. They will take an EMF reader and they're like, this device isn't good. But they must understand that if it blocks the EMF, it will just not work, right? It's like you getting inside the Faraday cage, nothing would just work, and it will interfere with other devices. In the meantime, your body isn't protected because you're still bombarded by all the frequencies. So what these do is that they filter out the harmful frequencies of electromagnetic radiation. So they harmonize and neutralize EMF. And when the clash happens with our bodies, there's just no impact. It's all neutral, so we don't react to it. And they've been independently laboratory tested. They actually featured in Australian news early this year. And Australia is probably one of the hardest countries to break into. So they put it through the laboratory tests and did lots of results and experiments with them.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So what kinds of, so when you say you got clients who have problems and they struggle, it's things like sleep, isn't it? It's anxiety. What other kinds of things do people struggle with if they've got this influx of all the EMF?
Yeah, I mean, sleep, obviously big, migraines, stress. I mean, actually, because I think quite, when the lockdown happened, I attended a few networking events, and I know a lot of people were complaining about the skin rash they would get just from spending so much time on the Zoom. So everybody reacts very differently. Some people are a lot more sensitive than others, but headaches, insomnia, and fatigue is definitely, something to look for. And, because I've got a teenage son, and actually a few months ago, I bumped into his friend's mom, and she said that her son, who's also 13, he stopped sleeping. So my first question, obviously, what's in his bedroom? And it was a Wi-Fi booster, and they put it next to the bed. And while I'm like, well, can you kind of pinpoint the time when he stopped sleeping? And she was like, yeah, right. So, well, that's what happened. And I heard it from so many parents, because the kids are constantly on the gadgets. And even if they're not holding the phone here, they carry it in the pockets, and it's already been linked to infertility in men. I mean, the health, the impact it has on our health is significant. Even in 2011, the World Health Organization declared the exposure to wireless radiation as, carcinogen for humans. Wow. So we kind of strap it on our bodies and we carry it all day long on us.
And it's never further than, I mean, you don't leave the house. I mean, you leave the house without your keys, but you'll know, no ways you'll leave without your phone.
Exactly.
So you've got those little things for the back of the phone. And so tell us about those and how long they last and how often you need to replace them, etc.
Yeah, so they last a whole year. You can just get a pack for a family, and people often ask me, how much do I need? I'm like, well, I don't know, what's in your house? I would always recommend, obviously, one for the phone, maybe even two to three to laptop. Depends, if you're not affected, if you feel fine, put one on. But a lot of the doctors I work with, they use 2 to 3. If you've got a wireless printer, TV, routers, boosters, all of these, you need to put EMF Shield. So I'd say for like a family, maybe of, let's say with 2 children, depending how many iPads they have, it's probably about 8 to 10 shields at least minimum. So yeah, and as I said, the last year, and a lot of our kinesiologists, because we work a lot with medical practitioners that do muscle testing, and it's quite incredible to see, they give you a mobile phone with the shields, and they can't pull your arm down. Then they'll give you another phone without a shield, and your arm just flops. Your cells, they remember that. They remember because they're stressed, because this is a massive stress on the bodies.
It's not natural.
No, it's completely, I mean, it's electromagnetic radiation. You get a natural one like sunlight, thunder, but this is completely unnatural. And, they did actually a study in the beehive of the beehive in Kenya in 2011, where they took a beehive and they separated it into 2 hives. And in the first one, they put a mobile phone just 10 minutes a day for 3 days. At the end of the 3 days, the bees just never came back. They never returned. And the queen bee, where she was laying about 400 eggs, 300, 400 eggs a day, she was only laying less than 100. And that's after 3 days, 10 minutes a day. So if somebody tells me this stuff is not real, I'm like, well, there's a bee study. Go check the bee.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've got those shields. What else have you got that you recommend that would help with all of this EMF?
So another product, we've got Earthing Card, and then just like I told you before the call, I have no idea when it disappeared. Earthing Card.
Tell us about it.
So the earthing card looks like a little credit card, and it's got sacred geometry and the tree of life on it, and it's programmed with frequencies of earth. So I think, you know, I don't know if you know about the benefits of grounding, where you walk barefoot on the ground. Basically, we absorb the electron from earth and it recharges our bodies. So the earthing card further protects you from electromagnetic radiation within a 3-meter radius. So it's like your whole household is protected. And let's say if you've got neighbors with Wi-Fi boosters, or maybe you've got wiring under the wall with transmitters, 5G, 4, 10G, whatever it is, you're creating healthy and safe environments. So, you know, when you fly, flying is huge radiation. You just have this card on you and your family, and even people sitting around you, they're all in that bubble, you know, that protection away from the frequencies. But what we also use it for, and we've got a lot of physicians use that, is for pain relief. And I've got clients with fibromyalgia, lupus, Lyme, chronic fatigue, who by using the card, and they just, like, ladies put it in the bra, that's what they carry it on their bodies, men carry it in the pockets. They haven't had a flare up in months and months and months. The energy levels are so high just by using these frequencies of earth. So it's absolutely amazing. You know, I mean, I use it on Evelyn, on my daughter, when she can't settle. I put it under her pillow or inside the pillow, the case, and it settles her down. I use it for my wine, right? I mean, we all love wine.
Well, wine doesn't settle me at all.
No, but you change the frequencies of wine,
yes,
of water, of food. So let's say, you know, when you open a nice bottle of wine and you can't finish it. Well, I don't know, I can't, maybe I'm a lightweight. But, you know, and then 2-3 days later, you go back to it. It's like corked. It's not the same.
yeah.
So you take the card and you literally wave it for 30 seconds and it changes the frequencies. It becomes full-bodied again. It's absolutely amazing. I use it on my water. Yeah, but wine is probably my go-to.
Wow. Will it work on gin?
Yeah, it works. Some men use it on whiskey, on gin, but gin normally is like you'd buy a good gin. You'd know what's good, what's not.
Yeah, no, gin is gin is gin. So, okay, so that's amazing. So you were wearing a patch. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm actually wearing, so this is just like a patch. It's called Nitro. So we also have wearable technology. And once again, it's all programmed with frequencies. Now, the one I'm wearing is actually called Nitro. Now, Nitro patch has frequencies of nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, it's a molecule whose benefits were first kind of discovered in 92, and in 98, the scientists who discovered it were awarded a Nobel Prize. We all naturally produce nitric oxide, but, you know, due to environmental stresses, the food we eat, whatever else is going on with us, we produce less of nitric oxide. And what it does, it opens up the blood vessels and arteries, so it pumps more oxygen and blood into your heart. Wow. And when you don't have enough nitric oxide, it can cause dementia, Alzheimer's, fatigue, memory loss, you know, all sorts of things, thyroids, you name it. So by having your levels of nitric oxide stable, you really greatly benefit. I mean, I had a client, she had no memory, like she could barely even remember what happened an hour ago. We used patches on her for just a few hours. She started remembering events happened 10, 15 years ago. We've got clients with Alzheimer's whose memory returns while she was using patches. And I've got a before and after picture. You know, I'm just thinking like my mom, she's got a restless leg syndrome. So she wakes up with the spasms in her legs. And then she's, you know, 8 o'clock at night, she collapses in bed. And the other night I saw her scrubbing my floor at 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock. I'm like, what are you doing? I've got so much energy. I'm like more patches, please.
Oh my God, I need those. God, that's amazing.
No, Dawn, seriously, it's absolutely incredible because she stops, there's no more spasms. All the spasms were gone within the first day. And also, you know, some people who snore, they put it on the nose and it clears up all the nasal passages. You just stop snoring. Like,
I need to buy that for my Dan.
Well, there you go. Maybe you can finally have a peaceful night's sleep. So, I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. You know, I'm wearing it.
I mean, the simplicity of it really is that all the stuff is throwing our natural frequency out. And what we need to do is somehow, and with this wearable technology, it's bringing us back into the frequency that our body functions at its optimum. Is that kind of in a nutshell?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, at first, it makes us, yeah, exactly. It changes our frequencies. And, let's say if you put a water next to you, because you're made up of water, will respond to the frequencies of water.
Yeah.
So it will just enhance your body. And the thing is, your body will only absorb frequencies it needs in the amount it needs whenever it needs them. So you can never like overdo it. With some other like patches, you've got relief patch. I mean, the pain from arthritis, 20-year arthritic pain, it just disappears overnight. People can hold knife, forks, take tennis balls, move their shoulders, and just because of these frequencies. And there's nothing to eat, nothing ingest, you can't be allergic to it. And it's used for children, adults, and pets. We even have like pets products.
Wow, that's incredible. So have you got any other products here that you wanted to show us and tell us about? Because you had didn't you have a bigger one?
Yeah, I mean, I have a food freshness card. So this is another incredible one. They actually won a Golden Edison Award in America 2 years ago. It's like an Oscars for the latest innovation in States.
Wow.
And that extends the lifespan of food and fresh produce by up to 50% because it stops or slows down the mold and bacteria from being formed. So we actually did an experiment in summer with bananas. We took bananas and left some with a card and others on the other side of the house without a card for 10 days. And after 10 days, the bananas without a card, they literally turned into dust. There was like a big mush. And the other ones, they were just slightly bruised. I mean, you could eat them. I ate them. They were absolutely delicious. So they sold out like 80,000 of those in 1 week in States after this, after they won that award. But what's incredible, and I've only learned recently, is that it helps you with insomnia and people who struggle to sleep. Because of the frequencies here, you just put it under your sheets and you sleep like a baby. Another thing is also because it stops the bacteria, it deals with bacteria. If somebody's got indigestion or cramps or stomach problem, you just apply this flower. There's a flower here and it's got frequencies on your stomach and you sit with it. It naturally takes the stomach pain away. If you've got
period pains or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Rash, eczema, you just sit with a card on your arm or wherever the eczema is, and it also takes the inflammation away.
Well, because inflammation, it also changes the frequency, and that's because the frequency isn't great. So it perpetuates the situation. The frequency wasn't right, so it got some kind of infection or inflammation, and then that doesn't respond well because now the frequency's changed. So you kind of need to bring the energy back to it, the positive energy that balances it out. Wow.
Exactly.
That's amazing. That's incredible. So have you got some specials on at the moment that you can tell us about?
Yes, I mean, I've got actually something in UK only. I'm offering 30% sale on most of the products like Nitro, food freshness card. If anybody's interested, just get in touch with me. We've got things also for detox and energy, and that's been incredible. I've got so many people saying they haven't had a chocolate in like 4 months, not because...
Oh, what a shame.
Preventing they don't want it, right? I'm like, just have a chocolate. They're like, I don't want it. I mean, I stopped being obsessed with peanut butter because of that. So sleep, sleep patches, things like that. And we also have quite a few offers on tomorrow. I told you for 24 hours, where if you get a pack of 8 EMF shields, you get another pack of 8 completely free of charge. And
wow.
That's better tomorrow, yeah, for 24 hours.
Okay, so your products are in dollars. So what I like about dollars is actually you see a number and you go, woohoo, it's cheaper because the number's smaller. Yeah. So how much is that pack of the shields?
So they're including delivery, that's $120. And I looked at the exchange rate, I think it's just under £90. And that lasts a whole year. And I mean, it's amazing Christmas gift, right?
Well, if you get a pack of 8 and you got 16, so you could use 8 at home and then you can give 8 of those away to friends or stocking fillers for friends and family. So that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Exactly.
So Lena, you have, I'm going to see if anybody's asked any questions, because if anyone does have any questions, please do pop them on the Facebook page and we'll get Lena to answer them. But what I love about your story is that you were born in Russia, then you went to Israel, and then you ended up in South Africa. And each of those cultures must have given you something. Well, it's created you, hasn't it? So what about you is Russian? What about you is Israeli? And what about you is South African?
Well, I mean, Israeli, I might just kind of push it aside. I only spent very little time there, even though I absolutely loved it. I think just the love for food. I mean, I just
Okay, so that's a good one. So my love for food comes from Israel.
yeah, oh my gosh, the food there was exquisite. And Russia, I think, is just that determination. You know, I was always was raised, I was not allowed to complain, and I just had to take care of everybody, of my cousins and everybody else, which I guess in a way it was good, but in a way it also, you know, it created other challenges, because you kind of always learn how to give, but you don't, you know, nurture yourself, and we know that causes different psychological effects. So but that definitely, you know, made me more resilient, I think, because by moving from country to country, you had to start scratch from beginning, make new friends, learn a new language, integrate again. So that really makes you adaptable. So everything, I guess, in my journey, you know, led me to where I am today. And I still got a huge journey ahead of me also. By no means it's complete.
No, absolutely. So you basically, this is your fourth country that you've lived in so far.
Yes, not the last one.
Fantastic. Oh, well, that's exciting. That's even more exciting. So it looks like we don't have any questions, because it looks like you've pretty much covered everything. Is there one last kind of thing that you want to mention about how people can get in touch with you, and why you're so passionate about all of this? Because I think from what you've said, I can see why it is so valuable. But yeah, if you want to share some thoughts just before we finish.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I just think we really need to stay educated right now these days, and listen maybe more what we're being told and just do our own research. EMF is huge. All this 5G, 6G, 10G is coming. And the thing is, you must realize that with the 5G especially, doesn't travel through objects, through houses, which is why we need lots of little transmitters. There's also going to be blasting from space. So we're literally going to be drowning in that radiation. And I don't think it's the environments we want to create for ourselves, and especially our children. And the smaller the child, the more of that radiation they absorb. So just, you know, just do your research, go on YouTube. There is so much information out there. There's a lot of scientific papers, evidence, everything. Just don't ignore that issue, please. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's just Lena Thompson. Please link me. Or my email is thompson.lena@gmail.com.
Okay, great. And if people want to find out more about your products, to get in touch with you, or do you want us to you've got a brochure out, haven't you? So people can get the brochure from you. Maybe you could email it out to them. Would that work?
They can just email me or connect with me on LinkedIn or on Facebook at Nature's Frequencies UK. So anyway, yeah, they can just connect with me and I'll chat to them about that.
Fantastic. So tell me, what are you going to do for the rest of lockdown? Are you just at home?
Well, depends when the lockdown ends. For now, it's just working, connecting with more people. You know, it's been absolute, I guess, in a way, it's been really blessing, because I've got so much more time to really pursue this. Hopefully, maybe do a little getaway over New Year's, who knows.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's so great to chat to you, and I'm really quite inspired by what you're doing, because you are changing the world, you know. And if we all think about the small impact that we can have, like you say, you know, you carry one of those on a plane with you and you're actually protecting people around you, which is even better. So they have no idea. So you're being like a good Samaritan.
I would like to think that.
Well, thank you very much. It's lovely to chat to you. And yeah, if anyone is interested in finding out more about Lena's products, Nature's Frequency UK, Nature's Frequencies UK, I will tag them on this video. So yeah, please do get in touch to find out more and get that brochure, because I'm sure that it will make a difference to your lives, as you know, as Lena said earlier on. So have a great weekend, and thanks so much for joining us, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
Cheers, Lena. Bye-bye.
Thanks.